I'm a big fan of video games. I'm also a big fan of writing lists and stuff like that. I got that little thing in my brain that tells me to write lists of everything. I've written a list of games I've played, every game I've played, right? And so these, because it's the new year, New Year's coming, the new year is right around the corner. So I'm gonna look back at some games. I'm gonna look back at all the games that I've completed from start to finish in the year of 2025. I don't really know why I'm making a video about it. I guess I'm just kind of bored. And I kind of want to chronicle this in a way where I can share it, I guess. Just a little blog type beat, I guess. Nothing wrong with that. Now, don't get this confused with a list of games from 2025. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have any game from 2025 on this list that I've played this year. Actually, I don't think I have any game that has come out anywhere near 2025 on this list. And why? My back catalog is in the thousands. I cannot be buying brand new games. So the first game that I completed this year was a little game called Hong Kong 97. And when I say I completed it, it's more like I just experienced everything that there is to experience in this game, because there's not a lot. The game is it's just a bunch of nonsense. The background just changes to random Chinese imagery. These like flying coins, they just look like the circle button on like a PlayStation controller. You play as a guy named Chin, who is simultaneously Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. On the cover of the game, he's Bruce Lee, but in game, the images they use are of Jackie Chan. And I think he's supposed to be Bruce Lee's cousin. But yeah, this game's pretty infamous for the use of a real image of a dead body when you die. Yeah, this game is just bizarre. It has a pretty interesting history of how and why it was created, but I'm not gonna go into that. You're not just gonna go up to some random person on the street and expect them to know what Hong Kong 97 is. But it is like infamous amongst like the kind of gaming historian type crowd, I guess. I rated it 3 out of 10 for some pretty obvious reasons. It looks terrible. It doesn't play too well. And for how simple of a concept it is, like this is just like some Galaga, like Space Invaders, just shoot 'em up type shit that you've played a million times, but somehow it's just the most batshit insane fucking unique thing that you've ever played in your life. And there's heroin needles and shit. Oh yeah, he's addicted to heroin. The guy's addicted to heroin that you play as. And the soundtrack is oh so awesome. I love the music. It's just like one section of this like Chinese song like looped over and over and over. Yeah. Anyway, it uses a picture of a dead body when you die. It's not a good game at all. Like it even if you do enjoy playing it, it's over in like fucking 10 seconds. It's like there's like no game to it. However, its notoriety is why I decided to play it. And it's just kind of funny. Like there's just a bunch of there's like Coca-Cola ads like in the background, and you're shooting like little guys in red sweaters running at you, and there's heroin needles falling, and there's cars driving by, and there's a big ass fucking Deng Xiaoping head trying to crush you, and it's dripping blood all over. It's a fucking hilarious game. Not to put light on this like the dead body thing, but just like kill a guy. It just like it's like it shows like a little JPEG of the picture of the real dead body. And I rated a 3 out of 10. It is a little-known game called Hong Kong 97. The second game I played in 2025 was Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack Number 1, London 1969. This is like it's like extra levels sort of for Grand Theft Auto 1. I actually like it better than Grand Theft Auto 1. I feel like the missions were easier to play in a good way. Some of the missions in Grand Theft Auto 1 are really clunky and like kind of confusing. They have really tight time limits, and the fucking driving controls are really bad. And when you get out of the car, the controls are even worse. This game, like, it doesn't fix the controls or anything, but it makes the missions easier. I also think the missions are a little bit more interesting. You're doing a lot more interesting stuff than you were doing in Grand Theft Auto 1. There's like one where you have to like screw with Big Ben, so somebody's like late to something, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Fundamentally, the game is not really much different, so it's not that good because Grand Theft Auto 1 is not that good. I enjoyed it more than Grand Theft Auto 1, at least on the PlayStation. I played this on the PlayStation. Grand Theft Auto 1 is probably better than both of them on PC. So I give Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack number 1, London 1969, I give it a 5 out of 10. It's pretty middle of the road. It's not terrible. It's not very good either. Next I played Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack number 2, London 1961. And this one just fucking sucks. The only good thing I will give it is this one did not come out on PlayStation 1 as far as I'm aware. So I had to play it on PC, that's the good part, because the PC versions are better. They play a lot better. The levels just felt fucking impossible. Like, you have to like drive at full speed, not hit anything, be like frame perfect to like get anywhere on time. And it's just so fucking annoying. It's not very long, which if it was good, that would be bad. But it's bad, so it's good that it's not that long. All the levels are so incredibly difficult. I think I only completed maybe 1 or 2 out of the however many I needed to complete the game. Obviously, you can complete the game some other ways by like selling cars and causing destruction to get yourself money. You have to like do like 30 different things in like fucking 2 nanoseconds. It's crazy. So you gotta do all this bullshit just so you can get to the end of the game and you get like a fucking 5-second cutscene of some dork going, "Oh, you did alright, Sunshine, you're the best. We love you. We heard you're a boy who could do stuff. We love you." This goes for 1969 as well, but I like the main title screen music. I think it's really good. And I give Grand Theft Auto Mission Pack number 2, London 1961, a big fat 3 out of 10. About the only good thing about it is it feels better than the PlayStation versions of any of the original Grand Theft Autos. The missions feel unfair and unbalanced and impossible. And on top of that, they're not even very interesting. You don't even really do anything cool. So yeah, 3 out of 10 kind of fucking sucks. Next I played Donkey Kong 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and I actually quite like this game. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. It's pretty basic. There's not a lot that you do in it. It feels better to control than both Donkey Kong 1 and Donkey Kong Jr. It's very much a different game than the first two. It's not really a platformer, or you're not really jumping over anything. You're like an exterminator called Stanley. You got this little, like, what do you call it? Like shoots like the poison gas, like the bug gas. I don't know. And you're jumping up and you're shooting it at Donkey Kong to make him go higher, and he pops his head in a little beehive. I am giving it only a 5 out of 10, just because it's pretty basic, not much to it. I do like it though. Do not get me wrong, I do like it. It's a different 5 out of 10 than GTA Mission Pack 1. It's just because there's not much to it. Next I played Fatal Fury King of Fighters for arcade. This is the first game in the Fatal Fury series by SNK. And let me tell you, this game will kick your fucking ass right off the bat. I couldn't even beat the first guy for like hours. But after a while you kind of figure out how to cheese it. It kind of has this cool thing where you can jump between lanes, so you can kind of go into the background and evade attacks and stuff like that. It's definitely interesting. It's not that alone is different than a lot of other fighting games I've played. It's just one of those quarter munchers. It'll just kick your ass, steal your money. Good thing I'm playing on an emulator, so I'm not giving it any actual money. Inputs are kind of hard to do. AI is just annoying and feels like it's cheating. Like I'm not going to excuse a game for being super difficult just because it's old. If a game is difficult but makes sense why it's difficult and helps you learn how to overcome the difficulty, or kind of gives you a break with checkpoints and stuff, then it's fine. Maybe I just suck. I don't know. Any game that I played where I have to use save states, I just got to dock it a couple points. Like I said, just because it's old, I can't excuse it for being unfairly difficult. If I have to use save states to beat your game, it's not a perfect game. I'm sorry. I know this is going to lose me some gamer cred. I know this is going to lower my gamer score. But I don't like it when games are so insanely difficult that it's just not fun to play them. Anyway, 5 out of 10. It's getting a 5 out of 10 because it's not bad on paper. Just difficulty's way too high. I also played God of War Chains of Olympus. This is a PSP game, but I did play it on my PS3. It's pretty good. I don't know, this feels like a big fat it's like a nothing burger of a God of War game to me. It's fine. There's just like not a lot going on. I can't really remember the story. It was fun, I don't think there's really a bad God of War game, and there wasn't really anything particularly unique about it that I really enjoyed or can remember. Yeah, it's going to be a 7 out of 10 because this game was, like I said, you can't go wrong with God of War. Like, it's not a bad game at all. It's just kind of forgettable and basic. Like, it's one of those games where you sit down for like 4 or 5 sessions, and before you know it, you sit down and then you play it, and then it just is over. And it just feels like it's like a 2-hour game. It's not. It just feels like it. I like the final boss fight. I guess that was my favorite part of it. Or the Sex QuickTime event. That was kind of cool. This year I also played Ecco the Dolphin for Sega Genesis. This game is a trip. I have never, like, you know, maybe I don't play games enough, but I have never played a game quite like this. I really, really like it, but there's some glaring issues with it that I don't know if I can get over. The music is amazing. This game makes you feel like lonely and depressed, which is like, those are like bad feelings, but like when a 30-plus-year-old game makes you feel them, I mean, they're still bad feelings, but I feel like it says something about the game when the music can make you feel sad and lonely. I remember I played this game and I could not, I didn't know what the fuck to do, because you have to talk to this dolphin, and then he tells you to try doing the trick or something, and you do the trick, and then shit hits the fan. There's a big vortex in the air, and it sucks up all the sea creatures. I really want to give this game a higher score, like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, but I just can't, because it feels totally like a reasonable game until the last level or so. When you get to the end and there's an alien spaceship that you're in and stuff, it is it's fucking impossible. I don't understand. I get it. I get why old games are like this, where they're super difficult because, they didn't have a lot of memory, so they couldn't make the game, as long as they would maybe want it to be. So to keep you occupied, they made it so soul-crushingly difficult that you just sit there for hours and hours and hours trying to beat the damn thing. Yeah, okay, maybe if you were growing up in the fucking 90s or whatever, that would be okay, but for me, I have shit to do. I can't be sitting here pounding my fist on the fucking table every time I die in fucking Ecco the Dolphin. After a while, you just don't want to play the fucking thing anymore. I open a game, I start a game with the intention to finish it, and when it gets to a point at the end where it's just so fucking difficult, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm using save states. I didn't use save states for the entire game up until the last level where you're in this fucking maze, and it's moving, and it's trying to crush you in between the walls, and it's ridiculous, and the final boss is ridiculous. Okay, I'm sure there's some fucking MLG Pro gamer out there who can beat this in one sitting without taking any damage, but I can't, because I don't have time for that. So yes, I really, really, really like this game. Okay, actually, let me rephrase that. I really, really, really like a lot of things in this game, but it's pretty confusing at some points, which, to be fair, I think it adds to this game. So yeah, Ecco the Dolphin is 7 out of 10. I'd love to give it an 8 or a 9. I just can't. It's too fucking hard. Right at the end. The whole game is fine until the right at the fucking end. It's annoying. I also played House of the Dead Remake for Nintendo Switch, and it was okay. I mean, it's it's the old House of the Dead arcade game, but I would say it's remastered, but it's really not. It's the same game. It's just built from the ground up. So yeah, it's a remake. What I will say is sometimes the performance can be a little bad. It's frame rate will drop whenever there's a lot of stuff happening on the screen, and it's also one of those games. There's not much replay to it. You know what I mean? You play it once and you're done. I really like the atmosphere, the art style. It looks really cool. Blood and gore looks awesome. Lots of zombies and skeletons and stuff like that. Really cool. I use the motion controls to play the game, where you're holding the Joy-Con sort of like a gun. And that's cool and all, but after a while, it really starts to make your fucking fingers hurt. This game is a fucking workout. I even played it on 2-player, and this shit was just a workout for your fucking index finger. You gotta switch to your middle finger every now and then just to fucking keep up with the goddamn game so your fingers don't fucking fall off. I don't know why you would play with the, like, I know that a lot of these like light gun games are like ported to consoles and you're supposed to play them with the joystick, but like, I don't know why you would want to do that. It to me defeats the whole purpose of what the game is. On-rail shooters are supposed to be kind of immersive, where you're holding the gun and you're firing at the enemies. When you're sitting down, like with a controller in your hand, like moving the joystick and shooting at the enemies, it just feels like a first-person shooter where you're not like in control of your own movements. So I don't know why anybody would want to like play with like without the like with the Switch like in handheld mode with the fucking like using the joysticks. I don't know why you would want to do that. Motion controls is the way to play, but my god, that should make your fingers hurt. Overall, pretty good game. Give it a 7 out of 10. I also played this Flash game called Electric Man 2, The Tournament of Voltagen. This isn't exactly what you would imagine when I say video games I've played in 2025. Flash games, to me, they're games. They're real games. If it has some sort of game element to it and it's on some sort of electronic device, it's a video game. And man, this is a throwback. I grew up with a lot of Flash games, and this is one of the ones I played all the time. Anytime I had any sort of downtime at school on the laptops, I would always fucking boot this game up. This game rocks. However, playing it as an adult, I still think it's cool, but it's definitely one of those like, you just like, it's way too easy if you just cheese it and just run at them and like do the grab move and throw them. It just feels way too easy. I guess maybe not way too easy, but like it's very easy to like to cheat. This game looks really cool. I love the slow motion and stuff like that. The music is also really good. It's worth it just to play through the game just to hear all the music. So I played this one, played it all the way through. It's awesome. You should play it if you have a chance. And this one is a 8 out of 10. Like I said, the only thing really holding it back is it can be a little bit too easy if you're cheating it, but it can be too hard if you're not cheating it, I think. So I guess it has some balancing issues, I'd say. Overall, I really enjoy it. I played Castlevania The Adventure for the original Game Boy. And this one's actually really cool. A lot of people, this is like kind of a sleeper. Nobody really talks about this one, which I get, because, you know, it's just looking at it. I mean, for me, I love games that kind of look like this, but it's definitely one of those ones that when you have like Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood and Super Castlevania 4 and when all those exist and then you see this, you're not going to choose it over those. So I get it. It's not too difficult. There's parts that kind of suck that are hard and will screw you, like any Castlevania game, but for the most part it's pretty doable. I only really had a lot of trouble on the final boss. You don't need to use save states, if anything, just for the final boss fight. And I'm gonna be real with you, I don't consider save states in Game Boy games, NES games, Super NES games, Genesis games, I don't consider that like sacrilege in any way. Especially like now when you buy these compilations of these old games, like for example I played this on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, or whatever the hell it's called. It just has built-in save states. Nintendo Switch Online games will have built-in save states. Mega Man Legacy Collection got saves. Like, they all have save states because they know their games are hard as fucking sin. Those games that are just meant to kind of waste your time because there's not really much game to them. Making them milk you for all you're worth. The music I really enjoyed, as much as you can enjoy that sort of ear-piercing Game Boy chiptune sort of stuff. I like it. It's good. But my god, do you walk slow as fuck. If you're not as serious about kind of enjoying these games how they're kind of supposed to originally be played, like I am, like download one of the ROM hacks that makes them walk faster, because it's fucking ridiculous sometimes. As much as I'm glazing this game, it is a pretty basic Game Boy game. It's kind of unfairly difficult at some points. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. And of course, right after that, I played Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth for the Wii. This game is, I don't know why they called it Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth. It couldn't be more dissimilar from Castlevania The Adventure on Game Boy. About the only thing that's similar, there's these giant eyeballs that roll around, and you play as Christopher Belmont, and that's about it. Obviously, Symphony of the Night and stuff like that have a lot more substance to them, but this one plays really good. This one, like, all the movements are snappy. You feel you have complete control over Christopher. It sounds really cool. All the sound effects are really awesome. It's not that hard. Like, it poses a challenge, But it's one of those games where like it's like I said, maybe this is gonna lower my gamer cred, but I like that it's not that hard. You know, people love like those grueling, fucking torturous Castlevania games, but this is good. This is like, it's a manageable difficulty. I could beat it without having. I didn't need to use like save states or anything like that. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't punish you too bad. Get a game over, it doesn't send you all the way back to the beginning of the game. It's good. It's a good ass game. Yeah, this game's awesome. The only problems I have with it are how unfaithful it is to the original Castlevania The Adventure, and this is the biggest hit I could give it. This alone makes it not a 10 out of 10 game for me. The fact that there is an unused track of Battle of the Holy, which is Christopher Belmont's theme, and the first level theme song from the original Castlevania The Adventure, that went unused. So it's not in this game for whatever reason. It's fucking amazing. It's an amazing song. And not only is it not used on the first level, it's not used in the game at all. Instead, they just use remixed tracks from other Castlevania games. This game just feels like if you like Googled Castlevania, because it's just like, to me it has like it doesn't really have its own like identity. Like it doesn't really like it just kind of like I don't know why they did, like they kind of like stripped it of its unique sound in a way, if that makes sense. I want to be hearing the soundtrack of Castlevania The Adventure instead of the greatest hits of all the other Castlevania games besides Castlevania The Adventure. I think there's maybe a song or two that's in Castlevania The Adventure that's also in this game, but like the main one that most people have heard if they've played this game, because it's on the first level, and might I add, it's the best one in the whole game. It's unused. It's not even like they didn't make it at all and just, oh, we didn't want to do that. They made it. It's done. They didn't put it in. And I know there are ROM hacks to include it, and it just changes the first level's background music to Battle of the Holy. I would recommend that. Like, if you're gonna play this, like, just do that. Just get that, just to encapsulate the energy of Castlevania The Adventure better. Because I don't know why the fuck they decided to make this banger of a song and then just say, we're just not going to use it. Why? I don't understand what could have gone through their heads that made them decide to not include this song. I don't understand. Otherwise, good game. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I also played this game called, I'm not sure how exactly to pronounce it. I'm not sure if it's like a date or like some sort of like radio frequency or something. 03.04, or maybe it's March 2004 or something like that. I'm not sure. 0304. I don't know. Anyway, it's a horror game, and it's pretty scary actually, but it's very indie. Not indie like how like Outlast is indie or Hollow Knight is indie. This was clearly made by like one dude. I feel like I've seen so many of these like Slavic or Germanic horror games. They all have the same kind of like atmosphere and sound and architecture, which I guess makes sense. But it's always it looks like, I don't know if I dislike it or not. It makes me uneasy, which I think a game like this should make me feel. But it's one of those uneasinesses where it's like I don't know if I like the game or not because of it. But like I said, it's kind of a rough game because it was clearly made by one person. It's not bad by any means. It's just kind of like there's parts that feel a little bit Gmod horror mappy, like CS:GO horror co-op map sort of feeling. It has that classic Slavic / Germanic apartment complex level. I feel like sometimes the enemy placement is kind of bullshit. He'll be like right behind the door when you walk into a room and there's no possible way you can see him. This game is creepy though. This game had me on my toes the whole time. I think this is based on a actual event in history. I believe it's based on a suicide bombing that happened in Russia, and I think you're playing as like the guy who organized it, and he's in purgatory, and he's kind of having to face his demons in purgatory, and it's freaky. I'm giving this game a 5 out of 10 because I played it all the way through. I did everything that you could possibly do in this game. And I just don't know if I really like it or not. I played this game called Tori 2. It's a sequel to Tori 3D. And it's this kind of weird, like, Nintendo 64 or PlayStation 1, maybe like Sega Saturn looking sort of platformer thing. I don't really know how to exactly describe this game. Tori 3D is like, it's like a game where you just gotta run really fast and avoid some enemies, jump on some stuff. Tori 3D is pretty short. You could beat it in maybe half an hour. Tori 2, on the other hand, it's a bit longer. And to be honest with you, I think that is to its detriment. This type of game just kind of gets boring after about half hour to me. It's okay, it's not a bad game, it's just kind of boring after a bit. And on top of that, there's like, they try and change up the way the game is by like, there's like some levels where you have to go like collect a bunch of stuff, and it's not like a continuous running sort of type game. It's more like a smaller scale sort of world that you have to go search for things in. And it's not bad, but I just don't really like it because the controls can be like pretty slippery, and sometimes it's kind of hard to find whatever you're looking for in this world, and a lot of the environment looks pretty samey, so it's like you feel like you already searched someplace but you didn't, and all this stuff, and it's just kind of like there's a bit too much of it. There's like too much to do to complete this game. I got bored pretty early on into this game, I guess. It's okay. It's okay. I'd say it's above average. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cute. I'm sure there's somebody out there that is a fucking diehard Tori 2 fan, but for me, it's a 6 out of 10. It's above average. It's a competent game. Next, I played Mega Man and Bass. When I was a kid, I read it as Bass, like the fish. And so in my head, I always call him Bass. So Mega Man and Bass. I guess it makes sense that his name is Bass. His little like pet dog or wolf robot thing is called Treble. And Mega Man his real name is Rock. And then his sister is Roll. So it's kind of, Rock, Roll, Bass, and Treble. It's kind of cool. But yeah, to me, he's Bass. Apparently, a lot of people fucking hate this game. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it has that bullshit that most Mega Man games have, where it just feels incredibly difficult sometimes, at least on your first, try, until you really understand the pattern. There's some boss fights, in particular, Astro Man, and I think Magic Man. I could not fucking figure out the pattern, no matter how many times I fought them. I couldn't figure it out. And then you go on YouTube and you look up some sort of tutorial or some, no death run of somebody playing the game, and it looks like you can totally see that there's a pattern, but then you go try and play it, and it just feels like that pattern just doesn't exist. Like they just attack randomly. Oh my god. I don't know. Dynamo Man is a fucking asshole. You shoot at him and shoot at him and shoot at him, and then he just jumps up and starts fucking healing. It's like a never-ending fight. You run out of ammunition before you can fucking beat the damn motherfucker. The levels themselves weren't too bad. There's a couple that kind of pissed me off. But, no more than any other Mega Man game, I guess. I like Mega Man. I guess I want to like Mega Man a lot. But some of these games are just, too, unnecessarily difficult for me. I don't know if I just suck, or if it's just a problem. I don't know if I'd say a problem, because I know some people really dig this type of shit. But, to me, it's just, it's masochism. I like to win at games. And I like there to be a challenge. When a game's too easy, it's boring. But sometimes these games are just you play it for 2 hours, die 30,000 times, and you just want to fucking bash your head against a wall and never play it again. So I don't want, when I'm playing a game, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to feel that when I'm trying to have fun and relax and wind down after a long day. I don't want to play a game like Mega Man and Bass where I want to fucking grind up my fingers in a fucking meat grinder because I'm just so pissed off because because I can't fucking beat Dynamo Man or whatever the fuck. Like, it's overall, I really like the music. I think the music is really good. I don't know if this is necessarily a critique or something that the game has going for it, but I would play as Bass, and I would go, oh wow, this game's way easier as Bass. And then I switch to Mega Man and I go, wow, this game's way easier as Mega Man. Just because of the differences between them. Bass can't run and shoot, but he has a double jump. And so I guess certain sections of the game are way easier with Mega Man and certain sections are way easier with Bass. You do have to beat the game as both of them to get both of their endings, which aren't really that different. But I beat the game as both of them. I think I used save states every now and then because, I don't know, with some of these games I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by not doing it. Like, it's just not going to be as fun. You just want to complete the game at some point, you know. For how hard it was, a lot of it felt beatable. I didn't use save states as much as I maybe thought I was going to. I like it. Call me crazy. I like Mega Man and Bass. I really liked how you could collect the discs. Collect the discs and it gives you bios on all of the characters throughout Mega Man, and I really enjoyed that because it kind of you can read their likes and dislikes and their special talents or whatever. It's cool just to learn about these characters that don't have really much exposition in their own games. Overall, I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. Another game I played this year, I guess I should say I replayed it. I've played this one in its entirety before. Streets of Rage for the Genesis. This game is really good. I can't exactly remember. I'm pretty sure when I played it this year, I'm pretty sure I beat it for real. Streets of Rage is one of the best beat-em-ups of all time. It's no Streets of Rage 2 though, which is way better, but I love some Streets of Rage. Like I said, it's really good, but there is some room for improvement, which they did improve upon in 2, and kinda 3, and 4. Yeah, I'm gonna give Streets of Rage an 8 out of 10. I also replayed this year for, I think, the 3rd time, Metroid Zero Mission. Oh my god. This game is 10 out of 10. This is the best Metroid game I've played. I haven't played all of them, but I know people really dig Super Metroid. I haven't played that one all the way through. Call me crazy. Call me fake fan. I have not played Super Metroid all the way through. I have played Metroid Zero Mission 3 times because it's absolutely fucking amazing. This is a 10 out of 10 game. There's not really a point in the game where it feels unfair, at least until you get to like the Mother Brain fight. But even then, by that point in the game, you have so much health and missiles can get hit millions of times, and it's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of annoying because it keeps knocking you off the ledge and shit like that. That is my one critique of the game, is the Mother Brain fight kinda sucks. It's just annoying. It's not too unfair, it's just really, really annoying. Okay, one critique I have with Metroid games, sort of, is there are secrets that I feel like are impossible to find. I guess maybe not secrets, but sometimes there are things you need to find in the game that feel completely impossible. Once you discover it, or once you see somebody discover it on like a walkthrough or something like that, you go, how the fuck was I supposed to figure that out? I shouldn't have to be sitting here picking my butt for 10 years trying to figure out what the fuck to do next. I don't like it when games do that. This game, to me, has none of that. Everything that you need to find is reasonable to find. It's not impossible. You don't have to be a fucking genius. You don't have to shoot every fucking pixel on the wall to find what you need to find. It's so very good. There's one, I think it's a missile tank, and you have to do a crazy Shine Spark maneuver. On this playthrough, I just didn't even fucking try it. My last playthrough, I tried to get it, and I was trying for about 3 hours because it feels like an impossible task. I don't even know how you're even supposed to figure out that it's there because it's a mystery to me. Metroid Zero Mission is quite possibly the best Metroid game. Call me crazy. This may not just be my favorite Metroid game. This may be one of the best remakes of all time. This game is so good. It is a 10 out of 10, no question. Now, of course, after playing Metroid Zero Mission 3 times, or however many fucking times I've played it, because it's amazing, I decided to try and play through the original Metroid, which is honestly not as bad as I thought. It's definitely way worse than Metroid Zero Mission by a long shot. It's one of those games that you get like on Virtual Console, or it's like bundled with something, like, or it's like on the like the NES Classic or something like that, where you've played it, but only like, you know, the first, you know, 5 minutes of it until you die, and then you turn it off and play a different game. Playing Zero Mission definitely helped because it has some similar like rooms and stuff, so I was able to kind of get a better idea of what I needed to do in a room and where I needed to go than I otherwise would have had. But this one is really hard. You constantly have to farm for health. The secrets are way harder to discover. The enemies are way harder to defeat. The Mother Brain fight is 10 times worse. You can't really save like how you can in modern Metroid games with the save room. You have to use like a password, and I didn't bother to do any of that. I just used save states because I was going to use them anyway because this game is so fucking difficult. Maybe you use save states and you Google a picture of each area's map, and it's not going to be too bad. I don't think I'll ever play it again, but it's definitely a game that any classic game fan or any Metroid fan should at least try to get as far as they can in. I give it a 5 out of 10. It's a game. It's a playable, functional game. I played Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo for the arcade. I generally like puzzle games, but I wasn't really a fan of the puzzle system in this game. I just kind of couldn't get the hang of it. I didn't know that this game had different endings, because when I played it once through, I didn't get an ending. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe I should look into that. Maybe I need to revisit it, knowing that there's endings for each character. I'm not very good at it. I didn't like it very much. I know people fucking love this game, and I know it's kind of a classic. I'm just not a fan of it. For now, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10, just because I didn't really like it. I don't know, maybe that's too mean. Maybe I'll have to give it another chance. I have another Flash game for you. Bloody Rage. I like the idea of it, and I like the vision. That's about it, though. Every character is exactly the same, and it's just a contest to see who can mash the button faster. How I determine whether I've beaten a fighting game is, if the characters have different endings, I would consider the game beaten once I've beaten it with all the characters. However, this game, every character is identical and there are no endings. So I played it as like fucking Goku or whatever. I fought every character, and it is a 2 out of 10. Like I said, it's not a 1 because I like the vision, and I honestly kind of dig the aesthetic of it in a way. I think it's kind of funny that all the characters are like just slightly different, just to avoid like any potential legal repercussions. I think this would be a cool game to remake in like a better engine with more distinct characters that still kind of invoke the energy of who they're trying to copy. Actual fighting game mechanics, unique moves, fleshed out designs, more consistent art style. If whoever made this is listening, I think you should go for it. Right after I played Bloody Rage, I had to play 3D Fighting Bloody Rage 2. I think this game was incomplete but dropped. I don't think they're ever going to continue working on this game. This game is the same sort of thing where you just win by spamming the special moves as fast as you can. It's a little bit harder. I like the addition of unlockable characters. I think that's kind of cool. Every character is exactly the same. I don't necessarily like the look better. I think the previous game had a little bit more style to it, but it feels better to play. This game feels better to play. The sounds are a little bit more impactful. It just kind of feels a little bit more crisp. if that makes sense. It feels a little bit tighter, a little bit more crisp. Because of that, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10 as opposed to a 2 like the last game got. There's another Flash game I played, and I played this one a lot as a kid, but I was too stupid to finish it because it's a puzzle game. Enough Plumbers. This is a really novel idea for a game, actually. A little bit of a Mario parody, I guess, or a little bit of inspiration from Super Mario. It's very professional feeling. It looks very good, sounds very professional, good music. Every time you get a coin, you duplicate yourself. Naturally, there's a lot of fun sort of puzzles you can come up with. So yeah, it's pretty good. There are some levels that I feel are a bit too difficult to do. Not necessarily to figure out. There's a couple that are real thinkers. There's like pixel perfect jumps, some difficult situations that you get put in, and it kind of sours the game a little bit whenever something super difficult is put like right at the end of a level. You die like 15 times in a row and just keep having to start all the way over from the beginning. It just makes me not really want to play it. But I like it. I like this game. I think it's a good game, but it's also one of those things where it might just overstay its welcome just a little bit. I feel like there's a little bit too many levels. I started getting a bit bored of it towards the end. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Next game I played, or rather replayed, Street Fighter Alpha, Warrior's Dreams. I really like this game. It can be hard at times, but it's all doable, and obviously when you're playing on an emulator or something like that, you have infinite continues. It's not eating your quarters. And all the characters are super fun to play. The moves are snappy and responsive, they feel good. Sound effects, they have impact to them. I don't know, there's not really much to say. It's a solid Street Fighter game. Obviously Alpha 2 came along and did things a lot better, but Alpha 1 has its place, and I enjoy it. It's an 8 out of 10. I also replayed the original Street Fighter from 1987. This game kind of blows. I've played this game in its entirety probably like 5 times, and every time I didn't really enjoy it necessarily. It's what I enjoy about it is the novelty. I enjoy the novelty of it. It's just kind of cool to like see a Street Fighter game before Street Fighter 2, because this game doesn't really get talked about a lot. But it feels terrible. The special moves feel way too hard to do. Like it feels like you have to be like do the inputs just perfectly to throw out the fireball. If you just spam, if you just just try and do any special move just over and 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 over again the entire game, without, you don't even have to look at the screen. You'll just throw out punches and kicks and punches and kicks, and sometimes you'll throw the fireball and sometimes it'll hit them and it'll do like half their health, because the special moves are crazy in this game. It'll do half their health, or you'll do the spin kick and it'll fucking do half their health, or the dragon punch or whatever, and before you know it, you've plowed through the whole game in like 5 minutes. The only real difficult fight that I have ever had to continue more than like once on was Sagat, and he's the final boss. But even then, you just do the same shit, and you know, sooner or later, you'll win. It's a bad game. It is not a good game. It's charming to me, but it is objectively not a good game. I like the characters in this game, to be honest with you. Like Mike, who's clearly just like a precursor for Balrog. Separate characters, but is like clearly supposed to... Balrog is clearly supposed to just be a replacement for this character. There's characters like Geki and Lee. And of course, characters like Gen and Adon and Sagat. Oh, and Birdie and Eagle who come back later. However, there's one character that has gotten little to no love in the 30 plus years that Street Fighter has been around after this game came out, and that's Joe. Now, if you've seen the trailer for this new Street Fighter movie, he's making a little bit of a comeback, but Joe is my GOAT.
You love me, he wants me, I think I want you too. You can be my daddy tonight, night, night. With me on fast and racing, I can make a Christmas present now. You can be my daddy tonight, night, night. Let's be seeking heaven and you wanna go together. You can be my daddy tonight, night, night. With me on fast and racing, I can make a Christmas present.
I love Joe.
I guess I'm just a play date to you.
I just love him because he's so underrepresented. Every other character in this game has made some sort of meaningful appearance in some sort of Street Fighter media, whether it be a game, a comic, or, something like that, right? Joe has got zip, except for the new movie coming out. But I'm trying to see Joe make a comeback. I'm trying to see him come back. I'm trying to see him in Street Fighter 6 DLC. I need my GOAT. When he wins, he says, "Okay, baby." I don't know how this movie's going to turn out. I'm a little mixed on seeing the trailer. But what I really hope is that they keep Joe accurate. I need Joe to be game accurate.
Okay, baby.
Yeah, overall, Street Fighter 1 sucks. Don't play it unless it's to be funny, or if you really like Street Fighter like me. I'd say Street Fighter is probably like a 3. It's charming to me, and sometimes I'm kind of a style over substance sort of guy. I also played Papers, Please. Now, I think this is the point of the game, but I said I like video games. This is more like video work. This is like wake up at 6 a.m. and drink your shitty coffee and go suck up to the man. And for that, I'm out. I get why people like it. I like it in a way, but I just can't get over the fact that this is just a game about having a job. Like, if I wanted to do this, I'd just go work a job. And I get it. There's more to it than that, and there's a kind of a problem-solving element to it and a puzzle sort of element to it, and that's fine, but it's kind of just like having a job. I played this game before, and I decided to play it again this year. I'm not very good at it, so I didn't get... I've gotten a few of the endings, but none of the endings I've gotten are really the good ones. But I consider this game completed for me, just because I don't really have a desire to get any of the better endings. I played about all that I want to play of it. Originally when I played it, I gave it a 4, but playing it again, I kind of get the appeal a little bit more, so I'm going to bump it up to maybe a 5. I'm also inclined to give it perhaps a 6. I know I'm going to get some hate for 5, because I know some people really like this game. Not my thing, but I get the appeal. The next game I replayed was Metroid Prime for GameCube. I didn't play the remaster. I played the GameCube one, bordering on a 9 or a 10 out of 10. This game is a 10 out of 10 up until the final boss. So I don't know. I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards 10 out of 10 because I love the bulk of this game so much that I can maybe forgive the absolute ass final boss fight. This game has all the good things I said about Metroid Zero Mission. It's not unreasonably difficult to figure out secrets or figure out what you need to be doing. So it's not a bullshit game for the most part. But my god, when you get to the end... Okay, also, the controls. The controls, I mean, like, the controls are... It's a GameCube game, and it's first person, and so the controls are kind of weird. You can't really, like, look around and walk at the same time. But the game isn't, like... There's not a whole lot of parts in the game where you would need to walk around and like, aim your gun. It has a pretty, like, decent lock-on system and stuff like that. Only the final boss fight has this bullshit thing where you're supposed to, like, lock onto these things flying at you that the boss shoots out. But you look up... And you press the lock on button and you just lock onto the fucking final boss, and now you gotta look all the way up and try and lock on again, and it's just like a fucking mess. I have small problems with the controls, but overall they're very manageable and they're not that bad. I believe that the controls are somewhat fixed and way better on the Switch version, on the remaster. So maybe I'll have to try that. Hopefully the final boss fight, the Metroid Prime itself, has a better boss fight in the remaster. There's just so much bullshit in the GameCube version's final boss. First off, if you die at the final boss, which you will do a lot, the save room is like 4 rooms away, and they're filled with these fucking Metroids that they split into 2 Metroids, and each one is a different color, and you have to switch to that Metroid's corresponding beam color in order to kill it. And they're just like fucking bullet sponges. They don't die. And there's a million of them, and you gotta do all this platforming. They'll knock you off into this fucking pit. It's it's nonsense. And then you get to the final boss and you're fighting this thing, and it's hard, but you know, it's manageable. And then you get to that second phase. Oh my god, the second phase. Now I figured out a way to kind of beat it easier. But like the first couple times you play it, it sends out the Metroids that you have to split into two, that you have to shoot each one with a different beam to kill it, like multiple times. The final boss will cloak itself, and you have these different visors, and you need to switch through the different visors to find which like spectrum it's hiding in. So you do that. But while you're doing that, you can't see what color each of the Metroids are that split. So you're like, okay, well, do I look at the final boss and just take all these Metroids to the fucking face, and then you have to go in the morph ball and use the bomb to blow them off? Do I look at the final boss, or do I just keep getting fucking do I fight the final boss and let the Metroids attack me and drain my health and obscure my vision, or do I fight the Metroids and let the final boss rip me a new one? What do I do? If you decide to kill the Metroids, before you know it, the final boss is no longer in a state where you can attack it. It's just so annoying. Anyway, I'm gonna say I'm going 9.5, but I'm just gonna say 10. Because I really like the game. I can forgive the ass final boss because 99.9% of the game is awesome. The last game that I completed this year was Plants vs. Zombies. Oh, praise the Lord. Plants vs. Zombies. 10 out of 10. This game is a 10 out of 10 game. Now, as you may or may not have guessed by the end of this, I don't like games that are too hard. Call me bitch made. I like to have fun with games. I've never played a game like this where I have never gotten overly frustrated or felt like it was throwing just way too much at me and it wasn't my fault if I screwed up. But this game has the perfect difficulty scaling. The end of the game is difficult, but it's not tear your hair out difficult. It is a pleasant experience. It's just fun. It looks fun. It looks cute. It looks pleasing to the eye. It's a fun game. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. This is one of those games where I sat and played it for 5 hours and I just did not get bored. And even after I beat it, I just sat and played it for more hours playing all the mini games because the mini games are really good. That's another thing about this game is it has really fun mini games. There's some games that have mini games and they're almost an afterthought where it's just these games kind of suck, you know. This one has a ton of mini games, and they're all really well thought out and really creative, and I enjoyed them a lot. And there's other modes you can have a little Zen garden. I'm not too into that, but it's kind of cool. It's pretty funny. It's got there's funny bits to it. Plants vs. Zombies this is an all-time classic. You can never go wrong with Plants vs. Zombies. 10 out of 10. Hell, I'm gonna go play it now. I don't know, there's just so much to do in it. You play the adventure mode, and then there's just so much to do after that. It's just a game that doesn't get boring. 10 out of 10. Praise the Lord. Best fucking game of all time. On top of all that, there's a lot of games that I've been playing throughout 2025 that I haven't completed yet, but I feel like they're worth mentioning just because the bulk of me playing them was in 2025. Creepy Castle. I'm not the biggest fan of this game. It's okay. Wario's Woods. I liked it at first, but now I fucking hate it. I'm convinced that completing this game is impossible. Enough Plumbers 2. My critique of Enough Plumbers 1 was that it kind of got old towards the end of it. With Enough Plumbers 2, I feel like it's just worse than Enough Plumbers 1. It's kind of just boring right off the bat. And the levels are harder and more frustrating. Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, and I'm digging it. This game's kind of cool. This is one of the best Game Boy games that I've played. Wario Land is dope. I'm also playing Street Fighter Alpha 2. I'm almost done with it. I need to beat the game with I think maybe 4 more characters, and then I'll be done with it. Pushmo, only a couple more puzzles left. Pushmo's cool. I was also replaying Scorn. Scorn's a good game. A lot of people hate it. I really like Scorn. It's more of an experience. I've also gotten very, very far in Zuma. I guess Zuma Deluxe. I have beaten the entire game except for the last level. I can't beat the last level. I've also been playing a lot of these other games, but they don't really have like an end to them. Phasmophobia, that's a good one. I guess maybe once I've gotten all the achievements or found all the ghosts and stuff, I guess I could say that I've completed the game. And Dead by Daylight. And then the Outlast Trials. You can kind of say you've completed the Outlast Trials. There are endings. I've completed all of the trials that are currently available, but because they keep adding more, I cannot yet say that I have completed the game because they are continuously adding more content to it. That's all I got.